Welcome to topic 11 of the eSkillful Means program. It's a very special topic. It's called inner knowing. We all have the capacity to know, and the extent of it, the depth of it, the importance of it depends on our body awareness. It depends on, is the site in which our life experience is taking place, if it's open, if it's clear. So then life is running through our veins, you might say. And life is a source of knowledge, a source of information. And when it runs through your body, it's different than runs through my body. There are other issues for you than for me, except for we also have some common issues. So it is as if life is talking to you, speaking to you. And inner knowing means you hearing the voice of life as it pertains to you and as it pertains to being a human being who has a limited time on this earth. So inner knowing is a wonderful topic. Some people think it has to do with intuition, and that's true, or a hunch, or some kind of sensitivity that when you come into a room you sense, you smell what is going on. That is inner knowing too. That belongs to that. Sometimes if you are aware, you find yourself in places where they just needed your help. You're making a phone call to somebody and the person says, oh, I just need somebody like you, or I was thinking about you, and here you call. Is that inner knowing? Yes, it is. But it's much more than that. So inner knowing is really the voice of knowledge. The voice of knowledge, the deeper it is, the more profound it is, it can help us in two ways, and actually only one way. The two ways will be is when you're in a difficult situation, when you're in a stressed situation, when your project gets stuck, when you're up against a wall, questioning mind can get you out of it. And the other one is to use it to discover what is really the potential of your life. How can I discover what other talents, what's the promise of my life? Whatever age you are, you come up against this question, how would I like to spend the rest of my life? Or what else is important for me? What talents are hidden? Sometimes you have some deep inside a feeling that you would like to do that too. Or this is really important for you. Yes, you're making compromises because you have made choices, but underneath, behind all that daily life activity, there's also the voice of your life. Some kind of inner calling. We can use inner knowing for dealing with everyday's issues. And please develop it in that way. Always ask, if you're stuck, always ask what's happening. What can be done? What is first? And you're asking me this, you might say to somebody, but what is really behind it? What is really important about that? So if you take a breath and say what's happening, the process of knowing starts up. When you do inner knowing method, it is essential that you develop asking the right questions. And it's not easy to develop by yourself. So questioning mind, as we call this method, is to extract, to draw, to penetrate through all limitations of self-knowledge, to penetrate all of those, to say what is really important for you now. What is it that you should not ignore anymore? What is it? And then how can I implement it? And when do I start? So you begin to get a discussion with yourself, and you can no longer neglect what you know. The basis of inner knowing is that there is body awareness, and we discussed that in earlier topics. Now in this topic, we specifically focus on developing questioning mind. The voice of knowledge comes through to its best when your mind is in a state of non-dual awareness. It's a big word, but non-dual awareness means that there is no duality in your experience. That means there is no I, the me, running around and being the center of everything. It's an openness. And the senses work two ways. Not only projecting out and trying to figure out what it is, but you're opening to what seeing tells you, what hearing tells you, what smelling tells you, what tasting tells you, and what feeling tells you. And also what your mental energy tells you. So there's different levels of knowing. It's not only through thoughts. There are many other ways. Actually, it is before thoughts, in between thoughts, at the end of a thought. So it is to open up your awareness to all kinds of knowing. And you get access to it by questioning. And this lesson gives you suggestions on what are some of the good questions. When you start something, you want to ask why. When you're formulating your intent, you want to know why you're going to do this. Why is this important to you? Once you start it, once you're in the middle of something, don't ask yourself, well, why did I start this? You started it. So why did I start this is not good anymore. It will undermine you. I find that many people love these questions, especially if they pertain to their personal life, like their personal mission in this life. And often they make the mistake by saying, why am I not feeling, and then something follows. Why am I not able to? And that's the kiss of death. Asking yourself why not, there are so many reasons why not. How can you ever prove, or how can you ever discover the exact reason why not? And even if you know the reason why not, you still will have to ask you, okay, and now what? Or so what? So why not put it away? Unless you're in a situation and somebody says, shall we try that? You say, okay, why not? But that's more like an assurance, let's try. So good questions in the beginning are why. And then later it's what, how, and when. And there's a little video in this topic 11 that describes these questions. But what is not really clear yet stated anywhere is that when you start doing this, it might be very inspiring, but it might also make you very irritated. Like you will soon find out that you're up against the wall. You're at the limits of what you know. And we want to get outside of these limits, beyond the known. How do you do that? Well, you have to have a body awareness that is open and relaxing. But then the only way to really penetrate that is through questioning mind. So yes, it will be irritating. You will want to give up because you have reached your limit. And also, it's because you think that you need to get the right answer. So the eagerness to get the right answer is actually the biggest obstacle. It is to articulate a question precisely, caringly, neutrally, without agenda. Just what? Make it neutral, your sentence. What is it that, or what is important first? How can we do that? So if you ask it neutrally, you are less likely to hit against your wall. And what is really happening is that your question is actually an invitation for the voice of knowledge to come to you. So if you think that you should ask a question outwardly so that you get it and you find an answer, and then you're going to work with this answer, is a limited approach. You want to be neutral state, the 4 points that are described in this lesson, and your question is an invitation for knowledge to come to you. So you become a recipient of it, because you already have the knowledge to know what you need to do. You already have the knowledge of what it takes. It's just you can get to it. And your frustrations tell you, it is there, but I can't get to it. I can't hear it. I can't see it. I can't feel it. I can not get a hold of it. Questioning mind goes through it. So yes, you penetrate, but then in your openness, the voice of knowledge will come to you. It may come as a thought. It may come as a sentence. It may come as a hunch. It may come as a yes, a feeling, this is right, this is the right way. Once you know it, your body will give you all the cues that you're right. You will become lighter. Eyes start to sparkle more. Very often I notice people begin to smile because they really relax on a deep level. Occasionally they get warm, like they're warming up because they're so close to the potential of the situation. Then you get warm, nicely warm. But in general, when the questioning is working, the question will dissolve and your body will give you a very pleasurable feeling because you got it. Good luck.